A heart attack killed Brett Favre's father, Irv, in 2003. Favre's wife, Deanna, was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2004. That same year, his brother-in-law was killed in an ATV accident. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina destroyed Favre's hometown in Mississippi. Then last week, Deanna's stepfather, Rocky Bird, suddenly died of a heart attack at age 56. Favre says he was as close to Rocky Bird as his own father, Irv. Through it all, Favre remains the NFL's Peter Pan, the mischievous little boy wearing green who won't grow up. Wendy Nix with our Sunday Conversation number 4, Brett Favre.
Brett, what was your first training camp like in Green Bay?
Much different than today. It seems like it was almost, I guess harder would be a good word, more demanding. The clothes we wore the little tight tennis shorts. There was more two-a-days.
I got blue, 14!
Wanting to be perfect, not knowing the offense, trying to learn it as quickly as possible, and always looking over my shoulder.
In comparison, how do you feel differently preparing for a 17th NFL season?
Physically, it's hard to think back and compare how I felt then to now. But I know when I go out to practice, it's more of a mental struggle to get myself ready. As I look around the meeting room or at practice, I go, where did everyone go? And there's such a huge age difference and experience issue that that's been hard to deal with.
What was the deciding factor that convinced you to come back for another season?
Bottom line was I just wanted to play. I still feel like I can play.
How will you know, Brett, when it's time to retire?
Well, how will anyone know? I think there's several ways you know, either by injury. The other way is the team wants to go in a different direction, which happens all the time. Or you just can't play anymore. You just feel like, that's the throw I used to make, I can't make it anymore. Sometimes guys have a lot of pride and they don't want to accept that. Fortunately for me, I haven't had to accept that at this point. Still feel like I can make those plays, throws. Maybe I don't move around quite as well, but I still feel like I can do that. So that's not a factor either.
You were vocal during the offseason about some of the Packers' personnel moves, in particular the failure to acquire Randy Moss. Why?
Well, right or wrong, I felt like we had a chance to get a premier player. The GM side of me was coming out and not understanding the whole thing. I just felt like if we had money to spend, it was worth the risk. This is 17 years. I don't have a lot of time to get chemistry with young guys. So that was really kind of where I was coming from. 7
touchdown passes away from passing Dan Marino for the all-time record. What would that record mean to you, Brett?
Not a lot. I think Dan Marino is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. I've never considered myself as good or better than him and never will. I would hope that I didn't have to break one record for people 30 years from now to remember me.
Such a cool dude. 2007 could be a record-setting year for Favre. I mean, this is going to be a special fall.